How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we work together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. My name is Henry, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about how to let things go. If you need the energy of forgiveness, of peace, of healing, then this is going to be the episode for you. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep healing meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So you can pick a word. It can be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And then once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. All right, well, we're going to do another deep breath. This one is about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear today to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And then once you exhale, to take all of that with it, leaving you in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So the past few episodes that I've had have talked about forgiveness, about healing, about raising your energy, and how they're kind of all connected. And someone asked a question, or they dropped a comment in one of those, and they said, can you guide us through the process of forgiveness? And I was thinking a lot about this, like, what is the process of forgiveness? Because it's something that if we need to do, we should learn how to do it. And so I was thinking about what that is. Is it just saying, like, I'm sorry and then moving on? Or is it saying, I forgive you and moving on? Like, what is it and how do you do it? And that's when I realized why it's so important to be able to forgive, whether it's yourself or something externally, because it works right alongside your personal growth. What I've come to discover is that the act of forgiveness is really the state of being a certain energy. When you are in your highest light, you don't need to do anything to forgive because you're at peace with everything. When somebody can't do anything that brings your energy down, why would you need to forgive them? So if you're having trouble letting something go, whether it's something you did, something external, we really need to reflect on our internal state and see what we can do to raise our energy. And that's what it's all about. Forgiveness is not an action that you can do. If you're in a spot of pain and something happens to you, you can try super hard to forgive that person, but because you're in pain, you're going to be in that pain energy or whatever energy that you're in. If you can't let something go or forgive yourself, it's because you are not in a state that allows that to happen. So if we shift our internal state and raise our vibration and raise our perspective, that gives us the power to let go, because that's what it is. If you have something that needs to be forgiven or someone's done something to you that needs to be forgiven, it's just letting it go because you're not a part of that anymore. So that brings the next question. How do we raise our vibration? Well, whatever it is that you're struggling with the most is usually the first step that you need to take. And it could be something extremely simple. It could be your health. It could be your thinking. And I would say those are the two things to really start with. Are you eating and treating your body as you should? If the answer is no, then that's a good place to start. Because once you start doing something that's uncomfortable, it's not that when someone is healthier that they are a better person. If that's something you struggle with, then that's the darkness that you need to go to bring the light. It's the same with the way you think. If you tend to think negatively, where everything that happens, you see the negative outcome, a lot of times people say that they're realistic or they're just being honest or they're just seeing the truth. But if you are seeing the downside to everything, whether it's something that's happening or something you're thinking about, you just see all the worst outcomes or all the things that could possibly hurt you or bring you down, you're in that low frequency energy, then that's where you start. And it's not that somebody that thinks negatively or has negative thoughts is a bad person and that someone that has positive thoughts is a good person. We're all equal. It's just that is where the darkness is for you. That is where the absence of love is for you, and that's where you need to start working. And so what you do, we'll use health for example. If you are not in the shape that you can be, like if you think about it like this, you are an energetic being that was given the gift of your body. And everybody's body is different. Some people have more muscles, some people are more taller, some people are faster, some people, everybody is different. But the gift you were given, that body, is a gift, and how you treat it is an opportunity to practice raising your frequency. And so if you don't like exercise, well, then that's a perfect place to raise your frequency. You don't do the exercise for the external result, meaning you don't do the sit-ups and the push-ups and all those things because of the way it's going to turn your body. You do it because while you're doing that thing that is difficult, you can practice gratitude. And remember, gratitude is the ultimate way to raise your vibration, because what gratitude is it's pulling something that's positive, whether it's something in your immediate surroundings, a future goal, a future scenario that you've thought of, or something in the past, or something that's not even applied to you, just something that is love related, like a positive thought, bringing it within you, and then allowing that to consume your energy. See, that's what gratitude is. And so when you start with, whether it's your health or your thoughts, and you start doing these actions, you start finding where you struggle, being in that energy where it hurts, where it's painful, where you're negative, whatever it is, and then practicing gratitude, you're going to start feeling good in the thing that was hard for you. And if you start feeling good in the thing that is hard for you, you can repeat that process in every direction. Whatever it is that you struggle with, once you learn how to use gratitude in a way that pulls light within you, you will start raising your frequency. And so you just go thing after thing after thing that you struggle with, continuing to bring the light within you. Because when you bring the light within you, you are a creator of that energy. And that's what we want. We are always creating. The choice is, or the opportunity is, what we create. And so as you start doing that, you start growing. And then the next step is giving it. And that's how you become in flow state. When you just work on yourself, that energy within you starts to build. You start to feel it. You start to be a part of that power. But then when you start to share it and spread it to others, it actually flows through you. Because then you're not like a dam in the river, holding it, stopping it, and all just building up this pressure. Once you remove that dam and you open yourself up and you start giving what it is that you've learned, then you're in flow state, and then you have the infinite source of that energy that you're in. And so the more you do this, the more you raise your vibration, the more you heal yourself in these areas that are difficult, the more you learn how to bring love into these dark situations, the easier it will be to have the forgiveness energy. Because forgiveness, again, is not a thing that you do, it's a thing that you are. If you are healed and you are connected to the energy beyond this current life, this current experience, your money, your house, your health, all of those things, when those aren't what define you, but your internal state is what define you, and your connection with your higher energy is what defines you, then there's nothing to forgive. Because that high level state you'll be in, you will see the positive in every situation. Even when something terrible happens, you will be able to see the picture large enough beyond you, beyond the current situation, that there's opportunity to grow because what you've done to level yourself up. You started with the things that were hardest with you. Maybe it was the health, maybe it was the mindset, but you started with those. You practiced gratitude within those. You brought the positive energy within you where there was none, and you made yourself stronger. You made yourself higher frequency. So why wouldn't the bad things that happen, the terrible things, the tragic things that happen, now start to look like opportunities? It's not opportunity because you're excited that it happened. It's an opportunity because of what you can do in it. because you found the pain or the darkness or the absence of light, which is something that someone would do that hurts, that you would think needs to be forgiven, like something difficult happening, is where you can now go. And because you're a creator, you create what you focus on. You're able to go in these areas of darkness, use your power of gratitude, bring that positive energy, create more of it, and then you know how to give. So you give that energy to whoever needs to receive it at that time. And I believe if you continue this process, you won't need to forgive anybody, because you will never be stuck in a position where something happens where you're hurt by it. That doesn't mean we won't go through pain. That doesn't mean we won't go through difficult times. It doesn't mean we won't go through hurt, trauma, all of those things. We will, but we will have the heightened perspective to see the opportunity for us to go in and spread more love. So let's focus on ourselves. Let's focus on finding that energy. Let's focus on gratitude in the difficult times, spreading it. And then through that, we'll raise our perspective, and forgiveness will just be a part of our energy. Again, it won't be something we do. We will be at peace with our internal state and the surroundings, and then we will be the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and got you thinking about how you can get into that frequency energy and maybe change your perspective on it, and so that you don't think it as something that you have to do, and that it's something that you are. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link in the description. It'll keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. And then of course, Instagram is the best place for direct messages. So I appreciate everybody that has let me know how the podcast has impacted them, because that means the absolute world to me. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.